Hey guys, what's going on? I'm just doing this very quickly after I did the Address to Your Empire one because I didn't have it. Well, I wasn't making videos when this came out. Um, so this is the Blue Lions Kingdom of Argus characters. Let's just get into it. So like to start off, we have obviously Dimitri. We've seen him before in the first trailer. Here he's just going through some Address Your Empire troops. I'm not too sure where this is. I'm guessing this is probably the kingdom capital, I would imagine, by the blue umbrellas back here. So when they're like invading the kingdom, this is him pushing the forces back, I would imagine. As you can see, he's got a sword there. He's probably able to use swords as he was in Free Houses. He was proficient in swords in his primary class. Bit more of it here. He's just going through some Imperial mages. I particularly like this design, even though like I've always had like a weird thing where Dimitri with two eyes has always been weird to me because I've always like the first couple times I saw him, he always had one eye. But since this looks as a very different design, it looks more natural to me, and also he reminds me a lot more of his father Lambert in this design. So here he's probably just doing like his special move. It's probably Atrocity, I would imagine, that their strongest things are named after combat arts. The do here, he's holding a tomahawk, so I would imagine that it works like a projectile, which it seems like it does. One particular thing I do want to point out is his shield is that of an armored knight, not a fortress knight, which somewhat bothers me. I'd imagine that they would use Fortress Knight, but then again, Hilda is in Brigand, so what would I know? Here he's doing like a big attack. I imagine that he has like a big area of effect, like smash, like ground smash. There's another point in the background. It probably contains an item of sorts. If you hadn't watched my other one, probably has an item or like a heal or money or something in it. Mercedes here with her new. Oh, I didn't say anything about Dudu's new design. I like the beard, and that's about it. The hair style, I prefer his time skip with the shaved sides and that being all pulled back into a ponytail. Apart from that, I really do like the beard though. The like actual clothing is just basically the same as his time skip. Okay, Mercy. Another point in the background there. Once again, looks like we're in the Kingdom Capital. Once again, I'm pretty sure that's a blue tarp. I could be wrong. I am colorblind. Here we have her decimating things with like, I almost said javelins of life, pillars of light. Probably a white magic spell. Here's some more Imperial mages. That's a interesting thing in the background there. I'm not too sure what that is. Maybe it's like a fire orb. Or some kind of long-range artillery weapon. Looks like we're outside of the city limits right here. She's just gonna use some white magic spells and destroy some people. Here we got like a heap of Imperial fighters being destroyed by her by this one Watchers over there as his friends die. And here we just have like, I'm imagining this is like a super move kind of special thing that like just kind of destroys things in her way. Kind of like if you played Hyrule Warriors, so like Link's massive spin attack, or Impa's like bombs with the clones, stuff like that. Here we have Ash. Now, Ash seems to fight a lot similar as Mercedes seemed to follow, like play similar to Lyn. Ash seems to follow like a similar fighting style to Bernadetta, and I'm guessing that's both because they're like in the archer or sniper class. I'm imagining similar classes fight similar, although like super moves are probably unique, and the house leaders are all probably unique in their special classes. Just some more Imperial enemies being taken down by Ash here. Nothing quite of note. There's like this AoE attack that he gets to aim by like moving this giant cursor around that like brings down like a giant arrow. So there's another one of those. Are those, I imagine they're like, oh, they could be checkpoints of some kind. I'm not too sure. They do remind me of like an artillery kind of place, but they could be like a certain kind of checkpoint. But this does look like a fort area, so like you take down these enemies, you like capture the fort, and now your allies are in it. Just like go through it, so like yeah, big old arrow hits, takes out a heap of people. But yeah, so there's that. Yeah, so here we get like a bit of a closer look. And yeah, it looks like a, I don't know, a save point. There's like a base to it there, and then it like levitates up into like this holder thing with an orb in the middle, with like something that seems to be like containing it around the edge here. Maybe it's like a marker, like a fast travel point, or that's like tells you like what army controls this zone, and it's red because the Imperial army owns it, and then when you take it, it would turn blue to symbolize that your army owns it. That could be what it is. That would make a lot of sense. There we see like another one of those jars. And Ash just using his like super move, ends with like a big old arrow, just destroys some people. So Felix here, interestingly, he starts off with a cutscene compared to everybody else. And if you look at his like arm, hand, like cuff here, it's very similar to the person who is like extending their hand out to Dimitri in the last, like the mercenary trailer that we got, the mysterious mercenary trailer. Apart from that, I do like his design. Oh, by the way, I do like Ash's new design more than I do prefer like his old one. Thing with Felix, he looks a lot more like his father. Looks a lot more mature and like a sword master. Like not the class. There's another jar there. Just before we go on with that, we do see Shez here. That is most definitely a hero relic. Some people have been like hypothesizing, like maybe it's not a hero relic. It most definitely is. It's got like the glow, although it seems like it's going to be like a special hero's relic, like the Sword of the Creator, where it has like a weird link to the being inside Shez instead of like a crest stone and a crest specifically. Apart from that, Iron Sword in his hand over here, it seems. Might be a woe down instead, but looks like an Iron Sword. Hard to tell from this angle. Yeah, it doesn't really give us like a tilt of the blade to show. But Felix is holding has a second blade there that he's not using. So one of the cool little things, he has like after images that he leaves. There's a nice little slice there. And there's another one of those things, so I'm guessing that they like show who controls. That's my prediction for that now, instead of it being a fire orb. Like checkpoint markers or something. So he has like these after images things that I wanted to point out, which is like reminiscent to the Swordmaster classes from the old like GBA games, where like the Swordmaster had left like these after images when it was like doing a critical hit attack, which was interesting. They all seem to also have like their own attack lines, so maybe he like leaves these after images that like also attack with him to extend his combos. Or I guess combos, it's a Warriors game. Destructibility. Guess we have a better way of putting it. Annette has these little musical notes that come off of her, similar to Dorothea. They also seem to be fighting in a similar way, like unleashing like orb-like attacks. So just like textured differently, it seems like they're going to be like somewhat similar. Interesting thing here, somewhere in here towards the end. Here, she's using a bolt axe. You can get like a pretty good shot of it here, but she's using a bolt axe and not crusher, which is interesting. So clearly she's like being a mix between like a magic unit and a melee unit, or like a magic melee unit. With the bolt axe here, which is interesting because she doesn't have a crusher, where every other person who has like a relic or a secret weapon, except for like the Black Eagles, seems to be using this. Like, let's go back to Felix for a moment, back to the start. Here he's holding like the Sword of Mortala, or whatever it's called. It's a secret weapon that you can get from like talking to Rodrigue in Three Houses, as Byleth on the ALL map. But yeah, and then she and like every other character has a relic. We've seen them like wielding relics, but Annette is not. She's like wielding a bolt axe and magic. So bolt axe, another better scene there as well. Just gonna use lightning magic to kill things. Yeah. Sylvain's got like this bondage stuff happening near here. Part of that, he's got a cool looking scarf. The scarf looks nice. Most likely in a paladin class. This does look like the cavalier armor. The cavalier horse, so. Could be cavalier, not paladin. I'm probably wrong. It probably is cavalier, not paladin. As you can see, he's wielding a Lance of Ruin. It seems to have like its rattling animation, where like the little like appendages off the side here are moving. It seems like it's happening. He just seems to be like, you know, what you'd kind of expect from a horse unit. And there's like this big attack, which seems to be like his kind of like his super thing. Except I imagine this is like Ruined Sky at the end here, where he does like the, and then like the pose, which I find is like pretty hilarious. Very Sylvain thing to do, as this person is like right behind the horse. Next up we have like Ingrid. There's another one of those containers back there. And some more troops. Ingrid's got like, oh yeah, right, I keep forgetting to talk about the designs. Who was before? Annette. I really like her design. The bandana looks really nice on her, the hairstyle suits her, so does the clothing. There's like this big uproar on the Annette Reddit, like the r/Annette Reddit, about her showing the cleavage here, like this tiny little bit of cleavage. And it's out of character and not safe for work for, even though like there's a lot worse stuff on the Annette subreddit. Anyway, there's like this big thing about like one of the mods said that it wasn't okay, and it's like ban. And then another mod came on later and said, no, that person's ridiculous, obviously. Free hopes and it's fine. Anyway, I really like her design. Cleavage and all. It's not that bad. It's like, look at this. Like, look at Dorothea and Hilda and Shamir and stuff from like the original games for their time skip stuff. It's not bad. Like, it's barely anything. Like, you can't tell unless you're looking for it. Anyway, I really like the design. Sylvain, I do like the design of though. Particularly the scarf. It does look like someone like got a hairdryer and pointed it at his face, and that's what he decided to like leave his hair as instead of like brushing it. So there's that I find quite interesting. Ingrid's got this hairstyle where it's like not short but not long anymore. I don't particularly like it. I don't think it's a Karen hairstyle because people are like, oh, she's got Karen hair. She doesn't. But it's not particularly like my thing either. I'm not crazy about it. Like, I don't hate it. I'm not crazy about it. I preferred her like original 3 houses post time skip hairstyle and her pre time skip hairstyle better than this. In other words, she is a Pegasus Knight and she seems to has the ice element. I don't know if I can find the frame. Here it is. So this frame here, where she seems to like be using the ice element on her attacks, so everyone seems to have like an elemental type. Anyway, these are like mages from the Imperial Army, as you would expect. So she seems to be an ice element kind of person, and here's some just more Imperial archers being destroyed by what I, and he's more ice. stuff. I'm imagining this is Burning Quake, or whatever it's called for her relic attack. And that's a big explosion of it impacting, which makes me feel like there's gonna be like unique animations for the unique combat art of Heroes Relics, which is really interesting. Apart from that, we just have like the end title card again, and yeah. So that's everything that I particularly noticed, my opinions on the designs of the Free Hopes Blue Lions cast. In a week from now, I'm assuming we'll be getting the Golden Deer finally, or maybe Nintendo will continue to dislike Golden Deer like they always seem to, and we'll get like the Church of Saros out of nowhere. Yeah, leave your opinions on like the character designs in the comments. I'll be reading through them if I get any, and yeah, your opinions on this and anything that I might have missed. Yeah, stay tuned for the next video that I may do soon or not. Catch you later.